weather's getting ever so slightly cooler, that can mean only one thing, that there now won't be a week without American football until after the Super Bowl. That feels so good to say. Welcome to Southbound. I'm Harrison, and obviously that's Ed. Nathan is currently feasting on a meal for a king, apparently. Us peasants are not good enough for him. Before we get into it tonight, just do us a favour. So we actually are coming up to 100 views, I think. Considering we've only done 8 episodes, feels pretty good. But we only have 14 subscribers. So subscribe, like, comment, because I've still not had anyone prove me wrong, Ed, that I don't shoehorn Arsenal into every episode. I don't do it.
Well, we're 57 seconds in and you've managed to mention them, so I think you're slipping, to be honest with you. I think you're letting your standards down. Normally it's a lot sooner than that. They had a little game today, didn't they?
No. They played
okay.
Pre-season does not matter.
Okay. Yeah. Unless it's the American football, which we will talk about, because we're so desperate for action it counts. But yeah, I hear you. Regular season, pre-season, European football, I'm with you. It's just showboating. Yeah.
Pre-season, if you win, you're winning the league or you're winning the Super Bowl. If you lose, then nothing really matters.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so Thursday afternoon, welcome to Southbound. If you want to know what Nathan and Ed did last week, because I was away, go and check out that episode. That was a tour of the NFC East. And just a little bit of chit chat tonight. We have a mini tour of the AFC. I just said the NFC East then, didn't I? I meant the NFC in general. Tonight, we have a tour of the AFC. Obviously, we'll fly over the South and the East because we did that with the Dave, the Miami Dolphins fan. Couldn't convince him to say the Dolphins are going 17-0, but we don't want that. So we'll fly over them, but the North and the West have not been covered by us, so we'll go over that. And also, we've got a camp review. Is that fair to put it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think.
Ed, when I saw that we don't seem to have any luck in the cornerback room. Man, I was devastated. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we have to, because it's news. I mean, we've been saying all season or all off season, haven't we, about how that sort of cornerback room went from a weakness to a real strength in depth, and then bang bang, 2 injuries. So Juju Brents and Jalen Jones both go down. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jalen Jones was a non-contact injury, which would worry me more, because muscle injuries can be a real bugger. What was Juju Brent's injury? Was that non-contact as well?
I can get it up here.
Oh, hamstring injury as well. Sorry, I just seen it. Yeah, so they've both hamstring injuries, which I don't know. One or two ways you look at that. One is we're very early in training camp. Muscle injuries are probably going to be more frequent. Would you say? I think that's fair. All players retune into the physicality of a long season. But then the flip side is, it's kind of, we talk so much nowadays about modern athletes. They don't really let themselves go in the off season, do they? A lot of them carry on training all through the off season. So when they start again, it's almost like fine tuning and just kind of getting themselves match ready. So concerning, sad for Jalen Jones in particular, because he really came onto the scene, didn't he, last year?
Yeah.
But I think I'm sure we'll talk about him, but Justin Wally, I think it really gives him an advantage now, doesn't it? The rookie to really nail down a potential starting spot. What do you think?
Yeah. So quickly on Jalen and Juju. Honestly, these 2 players, especially Jalen last year, I could not be higher on them coming into this season. I genuinely 2 corners that I love, and I think, like we say, added great depth to, especially with. Oh God, I even forget how free. I'm just getting back from holidays this week, guys. Give me a second. Tre'Davious Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Combine them to say, there we go. I'll get there.
Yeah.
But with the free agency signing, Javius Ward, Kenny Moore, Juju Brents, Jalen Jones, you're looking like that's a corner room.
Yeah.
and like you say, 2 go down. You're like, really?
Yeah.
Really? But no, hopefully it's just bodies shaking off the rust. As we've seen with AR, anyone will know if you've not done any physical exercise for a while and then you go and try and do a 5-kilometer run, your heart's exploding, your legs are falling off, and you just want to cry. But I don't want to call it a silver lining because that feels harsh on people who do get season-ending, career-ending injuries. But like we say, injury does provide opportunity, and we was all saying, okay, draft a linebacker. He didn't. He drafted we just call him a defensive player, Justin Wally. He can play any position.
Yeah.
But like you just said, I think you're right. You've got to take the opportunity. You can't. I think the best way to put it is you can't feel sorry for other people in this business, and that sounds really harsh, right? But you can't apologise for someone getting injured if the next man up is you.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think that's exactly it. In the NFL, it is very much next man up, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you get an opportunity, you have to try and take your opportunity. Sammy Womack's still about, isn't he? Who played? Who get my words out? Who played quite a bit last year, and he's a good depth piece, I think, to have. I'm not sure you want him as your starter, but certainly he's a good player to have in the room. So opportunity for him, but yeah, I've just been looking. It says there's no timeline on the return for either Juju or Jalen, so I suppose you just have to see. Because the problem is, as you know, it's not just the fact that you miss training now. You then come back, and then you're in your separate program, and then you're behind, and then you're just behind. That you're playing catch up, aren't you? So we'll have to see, but. Yeah, Justin Wally, good luck. Looks like it's potentially your role. That's still a good starting group. Javarius Ward has definitely improved the room as a whole. Kenny Moore is Kenny Moore. And yeah, Justin Wally, if he can live up to the hype and the staff seem to love him, we're still in a good spot. I did see we've signed somebody and that we have added some depth to corner today, and I should have the name in front of me, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was. So that does make me wonder if there is something a bit more than they're letting on potentially about Jalen and Juju, but we'll see.
Nathan's managed to get in contact, even though he's meant to be out with his family. He's spending more and more time with us. Oh my, it's the Justin Wally fan club. Nathan is out for his meal, but it's the chat. Yeah, Nathan's been high on this guy, right?
Nathan was over the moon. I mean, for those who haven't caught up on last week's show, why not, first of all? But if you haven't, Nathan, man, I think he had his own segment on Justin Wally last week. So, yeah, he has been high on him from day one, and we did make that point. So, like you said, Harrison, where one man's misfortune is another man's fortune, the NFL doesn't wait for anybody. It is next man up. You've got to feel sorry for both those players, and I hope that they both can come back and still play a part this year. But in the meantime, unfortunately, the NFL doesn't wait for anybody.
No, it doesn't. So enough for corners because we're getting a bit square there. But I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask you, Ed, do you have a spare $12 million lying around?
No, because I told you before we come on air, my washing machine was leaking earlier, so I'm going to have to spend it on sorting that out, aren't I? So I'm afraid I'm fresh out, mate. Why is that?
You don't fancy going halves and buying Jim Irsay's mansion?
I have seen Jim Irsay's mansion, and oh my, I would love to go halves and buy Jim Irsay's mansion, but yeah, I don't have the money for it. Wow, yeah, what a palace that is.
That honestly, you'd find some like amazing things in there, I reckon.
Yeah, did you see the Colts basketball court?
Yeah,
it's got like a button with the Colts. Like, oh man, that just looks awesome. Shame I'm terrible at basketball, but I'd have a go there.
yeah, I absolutely suck at it, but yeah,
Yeah, I'd still just go in there.
Yeah. So the other talking points coming out of camp from what I've seen and what I've heard, two main ones for me, Anthony Richardson. I think camp tells us a lot more than the preseason game because Anthony Richardson is thrown against our starters. Now, our defense was horrendous last year. It might as well have been a preseason defense, but he's thrown against Kenny Moore, Bynum, Ward. What I really liked is, and this is watching clips, right? This Robbie reminds us all the time. It's just clips. Don't get too excited. But he's worked on, from what it looks like, he's concentrating on his body mechanics when he's throwing the ball. And it looks like he's slowed down his footwork. He's really working on the mechanics of his throw. And his highlights from training are not just Michael Pittman's beat someone off the release and he's thrown it 40 yards on a practice field. Do you know what I mean? His highlights from training are passes on the move, passes on the run, into double coverage, but accurate. The only one, I can't remember who put it up, but the only one that he didn't complete was a drop from Pierce at a 50-50 ball, where anyone who watched the Colts last year, if Pierce has got a 50-50 ball, you throw it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think there's a few things about Richardson. I think listening to him in the media has been interesting, saying I wasn't good enough last year. That's fair, maybe a bit overly critical, but that he said that himself. He's been getting out early, hasn't he? Doing mental reps before everybody else. He's been out on his own, going through his plays. You can see him going through his motions. He's been accurate. It is training camp. Robbie is right. Not, we shouldn't get carried away. But I think the flip side to that is we're so starved of any kind of football action for so long that you overanalyze any little snippet that we get at the moment, which is human nature. But he is right not to get carried away. There's 2 points I want to make on the quarterbacks. One, when Richardson hurt his shoulder again in the spring, I was really concerned, and I did think, this is box seat. Daniel Jones now is probably looking likely he's going to be our starting QB. I probably went a bit early on that. And the other point I've been making all off season, and I stand by it, is that if the Colts only need that, I say only, the Colts need their quarterback to be just above average this year, and they can win the AFC South. I strongly believe that. I really, really do. From what's coming out of camp at the moment, it looks like Richardson potentially is winning this battle. They're calling it a true quarterback battle. I've flip-flopped backwards and forwards with it in the sense that I always thought it was Richardson's job to lose. Then he got injured and I thought, now it's Daniel Jones's job to lose. So as you can see, I'm about as good as a British politician, flip-flop on absolutely everything, going backwards and forwards. But at the moment, it's looking very promising for Anthony Richardson, which I think most Colts fans, I don't want to talk on behalf of entire Colts fan base because it's not right for me to do so. But Anthony Richardson has so much potential and we're all desperate to see it, aren't we? We know what Daniel Jones can do. I still think Daniel Jones could lead this team to a winning season this year. I do, I don't think that's unreasonable to say that. But Richardson could lead us to a winning season and so much more. So I think it's really important to see him try and win this battle and, be the QB that we want him to be. But, that's my kind of thoughts on it.
I mean, a lot of people are still with Richardson, I think, because he's still unknown. We've seen glimpses of it. We all saw that pass week 1 last year. 67 yards off the back foot. That play is going to be clipped up for years to come. Do you know what I mean? And I think Colts fans, we know he can do that. We know he can. We know he can be a game winner. And I think we're also seeing a change in mentality, where I feel apart from the online idiots, but I feel players genuinely now get more support than what they did 5-10 years ago. And I don't know if it's just because as Colts fans, we're sick of the Carson Wentz's, Matt Ryan's, Joe Flacco's, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
God, Daniel Jones just feels like another horse on that carousel, and it's like we need to stop it. It's mental. But yeah, I've got to die on the Richardson Hill because I've got to believe that he has to be better than what he was last year. Quite simple as that. The last player I want to talk about, I'll let you jump in if you want to talk about anyone, but the last player I want to talk about is, my goodness, Ed, do we have a tight end? Do we have a tight end? And I don't care what anyone says. What were the Bears thinking? Because if I was the GM of Chicago, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Mm-hmm. But let's talk about the new Lord and Savior Jack Doyle, Tyler Warren, wearing 84, I see.
Yep.
I mean, we all knew we needed a tight end. We knew it was going to be one of two. I thought 15 was too high for Loveland anyway.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a draft expert. It's just, if Warren was gone at 10, I wouldn't have taken Loveland at 15.
That's fair.
So I'm like, how does Chris Ballard somehow get his guy again? But yeah, what's your thoughts on Tyler Warren?
Yeah, I've seen some of the clips. I think it was a one-handed snag. He kind of just pulled out of the air, which was great to see. I think I looked at it, and then I don't know if you ever read the comments. The first comment was, "Man, he's overthrown that." It's just like, oh, come on, just enjoy the catch. Like, why have we always got to be so negative? But I saw that. I also saw that he was taking snaps at fullback, which I thought was fascinating, because I just imagine him. Big Q just absolutely just bulldozing their way through. I'd love to see that in the new season. And I think Tyler Warren just opens up the playbook, because having him and having his versatility, and I think that's the key to a player like Tyler Warren, is he can do it all. He's a pass catcher. He can also block, and he can also help in the run game. He can literally do everything, which I think opens up the playbook for Steichen. And it's also going to help players like Pierce and Downs get open, because if you've got somebody like Tyler Warren that is going to be taking up defense's mind, thinking, well, where the hell is he going? What play are they calling? And you've got someone like Pierce who can get 50 yards down the field in the blink of an eye, like Roadrunner, or you've got Josh Downs who can also get free. It just gives the Colts options, doesn't it? And you've still got Pittman there. So I think the Colts offense as a whole looks very tantalizing on paper, doesn't it? It looks like there's different options. It looks like there's going to be different plays that Steichen can call. We know Steichen's got a great footballing brain, and that's without even talking about the run game. So I'm really excited to see. I think Tyler Warren just opens up the playbook completely and just gives the Colts another kind of weapon that's going to be a problem for opposition. I really do.
Yeah, and I think people forget about Warren is he took snaps under centre at Penn State. He took snaps at wide out running back. He essentially said, "Put me where you need me, and I'll complete the play for you." Man, you said that he was taking snaps at fullbacks, and I can just see who was the genius of the tush push. Where did it come from?
I don't know if it was a Steichen invention, but he was obviously there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
When they ran it, I mean, yes, the Colts could. I know where you're going with this, and that would be. I mean, we would be the team.
Like a QB, a fullback dive, or even a halfback dive with a leading fullback, and then you've got Richardson, Taylor, Warren, Nelson, Raymond on a left hand side. Like, come on, like,
yeah,
I'm excited to see. This is it now. Like, I know it's easy to get excited, but this is it now, Shane. You've got you. Last year, we watched so many times Jonathan Taylor lining up against a loaded box because Joey Flacco can't throw it 10 yards. So, okay, run the ball on 2nd and 15. But now, if we line up is it pistol formation? I'm not clued up, but essentially, if we line up with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield and Pace, Downs, and Pittman wide outs, and then Warren tight end, you can't commit to the run as a defense.
No, and that's even not taking into account that if Richardson is the starting quarterback, if he decides to just run with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You've got so many different options. I mean, we saw that a couple of times last year, didn't we? When Richardson just trucked his way through people. So we know he's got that in his locker. So yeah, I think the Colts, as Colts fans, we should be excited about this offense and potentially what it can do, because Shane Steichen is a brilliant footballer. I mean, he was a great offensive coordinator. He's obviously just taken that leap to being head coach. He still calls the plays, as we know. But he's got a brilliant football mind, and I'm excited to see what he can do with a player like Tyler Warren. I think, you know, the Colts would be the team that managed to get the tush push banned. Do you know what I mean? Like the Eagles have been doing it for years. We try it twice and we'll end up getting it banned. You can just see it, can't you? Yeah. We'll do something and they'll just ban it. The only other thing I wanted to mention about camp is not really a player so much. I don't know if you saw the story of Big Grove and JT having a bit of a tete-a-tete, shall we say? Yeah, Big Grove got a bit physical with Jonathan Taylor and body slammed him, was the words that I read, nice. Which Jonathan Taylor did not take too kindly to, and they had to be broken up. I think Latu got in between them, and Big Q came across to kind of calm it all down. But the pads came on, and Big Grove forgot that JT as a teammate body slammed him. And it's great to see in some sense, but equally it's like, that's our star running back, man. Like not so heavy, please. Not so heavy. Save it for week 1, please.
Yeah,
but
save it
it's
exciting.
Yeah, exactly that.
But listen, I feel people do read too much into training camp scuffles and training scuffles and arguments, because you've got to think this is high adrenaline places. Do you know what I mean? And this is what Groves last year.
Yes.
Realistically,
I mean, what is he? 30, 31?
Yeah.
You can't think he's got too long. Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to be on another losing team. Do you know what I mean? So I like it. I like the fire. So that was a quick camp review. I'm sure when Nathan's back, we'll ask him for his favourite moments from camp and what he sees going forward.
Should we ask him not to include Justin Wally and see if he's got any other? Without saying the words Justin Wally, please tell us your favourite things about camp.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
So shall we go on a little road trip? Shall we get in our car and start our road trip across the NFC? Where do you want to start? Where should we start?
Oh, it's entirely up to you, my man. I'm quite happy to. We've discussed the East and the South before. So I mean, if you want to, we could maybe start just quickly go over them and then do the North and the West. Or it's up to you. I'm easy.
Good. Sounds good. So let's start at home then. Let's start the AFC South.
Yep.
I'm going to run through my 4, and then I'll let you run through your 4.
Yeah.
It'll be no surprises. I've got. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Titans in 4. I'm going to go Jags in. Texans in 3. Jags in 2. Colts first. I'm obviously Colts first always. I won't not pretend to be a homer. and I won't predict losses for my team. I think that's criminal. I think if you come in predicting losses, then what's the point? But anyway, now I've got the hard stuff out of the way. The head, the Titans have started their rebuild. I like where they're going. I like their head coach. Unfortunately, I like their head coach and I like their draft picks. But I think it's still a bit too early for them to be a serious contender. I hope they completely combust and blow up, but
Yeah.
Let's hope it goes that way. I'm going the Texans in 3 because something does not feel right to me there. And if I was CJ Stroud, man, I would not be happy. But
yeah, I hear that.
I don't know if it's just because it's the Texans and recently they seem to just got one over, and like it always seems to be them pissing on our parade.
Yeah.
Jags in 2 because I had nowhere else to put them. I think you're right, Ed, with saying we just need our quarterback to essentially be average and we win the AFC South. I don't see it as it's never particularly been a great division, but I don't see it as a strong division this year. So yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't disagree with the Titans in 4th, not because not for any reason other than everything you've said. I agree. They're rebuilding. They've got their QB. I think that's about as far as it goes, to be honest with you. The Jags, the Colts, and the Texans. I will go with I think the Colts. I think the Colts can win this division. I'm going to go out there and say it. With either Jones or Richardson. Starting, if they can be, if Jones can reach his career average of 63% completion rate and be good with his legs, and by good I mean he doesn't have to be rushing for 200 yards every week, but just be good with his legs and be able to run Steichen's offense, the Colts can win this division. With Richardson, I think we can go further, but that's a story for another day. Jags and the Texans, I'd probably just flip them the way you had them. I'd probably go Jags in 3rd. I like the Texans defense, to be honest with you, although they have got a linebacker by the name of EJ Speed, who I'm not sure if they're aware is not particularly good in the run game.
We're aware.
We're very aware. But he's got himself a nice contract over at the Texans. But Will Anderson Jr., Daniil Hunter, that's top draw, and their secondary is very good as well. I tell you, their offense, I think, like you said, CJ Stroud, they've got Joe Mixon who's out, injured. They've got a beaten up Nick Chubb, who, he's come off so many nasty injuries. Tank Dell's obviously out for a long time. Got Christian Kirk, Nico Collins, but the O-line is going to be where they win and lose, isn't it? I don't know how many times CJ Stroud was sacked last year, but getting rid of your sort of premier left tackle isn't going to improve things, in my opinion. So I would go Colts 1, Texans 2, Jags 3, Titans in 4. I think the Jags are a really funny team. Not funny as in laugh at them funny. What I mean is, I just think they're a team that, if it ever clicked, they've got a really good nucleus of a really good team. If Liam Cohen can get that going, I still think Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just not come together quite yet. But yeah, I think if the Jags, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. could be a problem in the future, but I think Liam Cohen's going to take a year or so to get them sorted. But yeah, so Colts, Texans, Jags, Tennessee picking top 5 next off-season again, I would say.
I think with the Texans, it slightly frustrates me because the Colts are a great example of what not to do with a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, such a good point.
Quite historically, we can't handle franchise quarterbacks. We've had three of the best franchise quarterbacks, and we've only got 2 Super Bowls to show for it.
Yeah, no, it's a really great point, man. It's a
And I
really
think
great point.
who's the Texans GM?
Pass.
I forget. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
forget
too.
his name. But
I'll have to Google it.
essentially, you see the Colts let Andrew Luck be buried into the ground every game,
Yep.
and then he retires early. And then you go, do you know what? We're not going to invest in our own line. We're going to buy you a washed-up running back. Tell me if this is sounding familiar, by the way. We're going to buy a washed-up running back and maybe a half-decent wide receiver. It sounds like deja vu, and I just think it annoys me so much because for all the back and forth, I really like CJ Stroud. Really like CJ Stroud.
He's a good player, yeah.
Yeah, I just think you're stupid, but then go and watch him throw for 450 yards against us and 9 touchdowns. So, but anyway,
not this year, mate. Our secondary is too good, but yes,
it's still find a way to leave their third choice running back open for 900 yards. It's something ridiculous, like we always do. But enough of moping about the Colts and the Texans. Moving on to the East. Now, we did an episode with Dave, so this will be quick because I genuinely can't remember what I said, so I might even flip-flop between episodes. But do you want to go your first?
Yeah, I'm happy to because mine's changed because I had Miami in second when we did this, but after looking at the way their camp's going, and I don't know if you saw one of their cornerbacks, Cardu, I think his name is, done his ACL.
Yeah, so
I think they've got very, very little in the cornerback safety room. Obviously, they traded for Minka Fitzpatrick from the Steelers, swapped out Jalen Ramsey. Johnny Smith's left as well, hasn't he, to go to Pittsburgh. I'd be a bit worried about Miami if I was them. So I'm just going to bump them down a little bit. So I'm now going Jets in fourth, Miami in third. I'll have the Pats second, and Buffalo by a country mile will win that division. It's not. I don't think there's even debate
I think
about it.
If the Bills don't win this division, then I would be burning tables. Never mind jumping through them as a Bills fan. I think you're right. I saw the injury to the Miami player. I'm just looking at the Vegas odds for the AFC East because it usually gives you a good view. They got the Patriots at plus 2,000. I mean, it's worth a quid, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm with you. I'll go, but I've just got to go Patriots in fourth because
you hate them.
I just can't. They're just like we can all agree we hate soccer talk on here, but I love to force it in. They're like Man United. Nobody likes them. They cheated, and this is what they get for cheating. So Patriots fourth. I'll go Dolphins third because, like you say, this off season's just been a disaster for them.
Yeah.
Jets in second because they look like a fun team. Do you know what I mean? They look like. I think we mentioned about can they get everyone on the roster? Essentially, can they keep everyone? And they do seem to be keeping people. And then I'll go Bills by a country mile.
Yeah, I don't see anybody getting near the Bills. I mean, the Jets do have a good offensive line. If Fields can play, yeah, Garrett Wilson's a good player, but I don't know. It's the Jets, isn't it? They'll, they almost make the Colts look functional.
Right, we'll move across to a boring division. Is that fair to say? The AFC West.
Yeah, I know what you say. I know exactly what you mean. I think, yeah, go on. I'll let you lead off with the AFC West.
Okay, so let me get this because I've wrote a few notes. So let me just get my notes up. Don't click that. There we go. Fourth, the Raiders.
Yep.
They are a hot, stinking mess. if God, yeah, if you think your team's bad at the minute, go and check out the Raiders. Then I wasn't impressed with Boy Knicks and Denver as other people were last year, I must say.
Okay.
When we played them, if Jonathan Taylor didn't decide to just throw the ball over the line and Shane Steichen tried a double pass on the 50, like, we win that game quite comfortably. I know that that's last year and you can't look at it like that, blah, 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 but maybe, Ed, maybe I just have a soft spot for the Chargers. Maybe. Right, okay, yeah. Raiders 4, Broncos 3, Chargers 2nd, just. But I could be sold either way on that. And then, again, the new evil overlord franchise in football, Kansas City 1st.
Yeah. I think the thing about that Broncos game that will forever not be funny, but is equally funny at the same time, like a tragic comedy, is the fact that Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball going over the goal line wasn't even the stupidest thing the Colts did in that game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, normally that would be the stupidest thing your team does in a season. It wasn't even the stupidest thing we did in that entire game. Like that's how horrendous that game. We were a touchdown up. We would have gone. I think we would have gone about 13 points up.
We would have
won the game, and that was a kind of we were with a chance of still making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell myself and Harrison are clearly over this. Sort of 8-9 months down the road, we're still talking about it. But I will never, ever, ever get over the fact that not only did he drop the ball, that AD Mitchell and Anthony Richardson did probably the dumbest trick play I've ever seen pulled off on a football field. It's just like, what is going on? But anyway, I mean, and that Broncos, the strength of that Broncos team, I will talk about them. The strength of that Broncos team is that defense.
Yeah.
Don't give them the ball. Don't bloody give it. Do you know what I mean? They're good enough at taking it away themselves. Don't throw it to them. Like, flipping it. Honestly, that just absolutely a PTSD from that. We got them game 2 this year as well. So I'm hoping that there's a few people in the Colts building with some burning grudges, like to kind of put that to bed, because that was a disaster of all disasters, that game. I mean, wow. But anyway, AFC West. Yeah, do you know what? It boring league. A boring division. I hear what you're saying, but also the head coaches in this division is the football big brain in this division. You've got Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh. I always get those two mixed up. I'm bad with names. One of the Harbaugh brothers, Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You've got sorry, I forgot where I was going. Then you've got Sean Payton and obviously Andy Reid. You've got some real footballing IQ in that division, haven't you? I mean, it is a bit of a dad's army, but they have got a lot of footballing IQ between them. I agree with you on the Raiders. I think they're going to be better. Did you see the story about Christian Wilkins as well, by the way? Getting his contract voided.
Is it he kissed his teammate on the head?
Yeah, that's like, I mean, that's the story that Adam Schefter put out, didn't he? What a peculiar. Like, first they said it's because he wasn't rehabbing properly, and then they said it was because that's one that's going to go on and on, I think.
All I'm going to say is, America. As much as I love our American viewers, I love the American dream. I love American football. America is a very weird and strange and divisive place at the minute. But all I'm saying, if Big Grover wanted to kiss me on the head, I'd let him also carry me to bed. I think there's got to be a lot more to it than that. You can't void a contract for that.
Yeah, I mean, a really weird situation, but that's one that's going to, because I actually think Christian Wilkins, if he's fit, is an unbelievably good defensive tackle. But anyway, so they've lost him. You got Mac. The things with the Raiders, you're right about them. I still think they'll come fourth. They have got some good players, though. You know, Brock Bowers, who will be the second greatest rookie tight end of all time after this year.
I really wanted us to go up and get Brock Bowers. I was so high on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know something's true and something's right when everyone just goes, yeah.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. I was gutted. The Raiders took him right before us last year, didn't they? I absolutely gutted. Because annoyingly, if Atlanta hadn't have taken Penix, I reckon that the Raiders would have took him and we would have got Bowers. But anyway, we've got Tyler Warren now, so who cares? But you know, Ashton Genty, Geno Smith, I think they went 4-13 last year. I think they'll be better than that, but they'll still be last.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip on what you've gone. I'm going to go Chargers in third. Sorry, Phil, at the huddle. If you're watching this, I know you're a Chargers fan. I like the Chargers. I just like the Broncos a little bit more this year. I'll tell you what. When I was doing my research for this show tonight, do you know who I found on the Chargers depth chart?
Go on.
Trey Lance is listed as QB3. Trey Lance is just sort of went to San Fran, went to Dallas, and then I didn't know where and now he's sat behind Taylor Heineke and Justin Herbert for the Chargers. So that was interesting. The Chargers, I think the Chargers will be good. I like the Broncos a little bit more. I know what you're saying about Bo Nix. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Bo Nix. Don't get me wrong. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. But I like the Broncos defense. I think they've got some running backs now, so I think they'll run the ball a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Lad McConkey for the Chargers, I just don't know who he's going to throw the ball to. So I'll go Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, and the Chiefs. The Chiefs will not go 15-2 this year, in my opinion. But the Chiefs are on a bounce back year, and I think the Chiefs will be there or thereabouts come the business end of the year. I've seen a bit of that. Do you see they got Josh Simmons in the draft as their new franchise left tackle?
Yeah.
And he's looked really good from the clips that I've seen. Again, going back to a point that you can't take too much seriousness out of training camps, but I think the Chiefs will be good. I think the Chiefs will be good. What I would say is I was looking at their schedule. Now, give me your thoughts on this, because I looked at their schedule, the Chiefs, and it would not surprise me if they were 1-3 after 4 games and everybody's having a complete and utter meltdown about them. So their first 4 games, they play the Chargers week 1 in Brazil.
Ooh.
So that's a difficult game. They then have to play the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch. They then have the Giants, and then they play Baltimore. So out of their first 4 games, they've got a divisional rival, the reigning Super Bowl champions, and obviously the Ravens, who we'll talk about in a minute, I'm sure, and the Giants, who just suck, really. So they'll probably win that.
Yeah.
I could see them, they could be 1-3. I'm not saying they will be, but if you could see a world where they are 1-3 after 4 games, couldn't you?
You can, and I think because of how the NFL calendar cycle is pinned, if you're 1-3 after them games, I think it serves something better than obviously it doesn't, but just stick with it. It serves something better than being 3-1, right? Because obviously you want to be 3, you want to be 17-0, you want to be
of course.
But if you're 3-1 and you've used everything to win in Brazil, because that's awkward. That is so awkward for the first
100%, game. Yeah.
And then you've got to come back from Brazil to play the Super Bowl champions who beat you last time, who have this mental hold over you.
Yep, agreed.
And then you go, okay, we beat the Giants, we're putting it together, we're beating it, and then you come up against that. That could go one or two ways, but the Chiefs do tend to start slow.
And that's why I think there's a very real world where they could be 1-3. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, and like I say, I could be sold either way on the Broncos Chargers.
Yeah, I agree. I think when I look, the over-under on both this year is 9.5.
Yeah.
which I
I'd
think's a
say
bit high for both, to be fair. But it shows that they're both quite even. They're very even teams. So I think you're right. I think that's just a coin toss. But yeah, I think Chiefs will win it. But I think there's a world. And then as well, just looking at their schedule, they also have to play the Lions, the Commanders, and Buffalo before their bye week. That's a tough schedule.
they're either AFC. They've either got the bye by that week they've either got the playoff bye by their bye week. Oh my goodness, I couldn't say that. Or like you say, everyone's panicking. This isn't the real Chiefs. It's falling apart. Blah blah blah, and then they end up winning out the last 10 games and winning it all anyway. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Do we play the Chiefs this year?
Yeah, we've got them. This first game after our bye.
So that's a guaranteed loss for them because Patrick Mahomes doesn't
we always beat
them. Yeah.
No, he won't. Yeah.
So he's the real Super Bowl champions if we beat the Chiefs every time and they can't beat the Eagles. But
that's how it works, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on to our last division then, and then we'll end out the show because I'm just excited, man. Football's so back. When you and Nathan were talking last week, and you was like, "Is it back? It's back." I was like, "It's just back, innit?"
Yeah.
So let's head up and go to the AFC North. I think a lot of people are overhyping this division too much.
Do you? Okay.
I don't know, because I always joke. I've had this running joke with Robbie for ages, ever since we started working together, that the AFC South is the most competitive division of all time. And he's like, no, it's the most rubbish. It's like, no, it's the most competitive. If everyone's 2-2 in the division, then it's the most competitive. All the teams would be 2-12, but we've won 2 games in the division. The Bengals, Jesus Christ! If you want to know how not to run a franchise, look at the Bengals staff. Like, what is going on there? I like the Ravens. Obviously, Baltimore won't like us, and
no.
But who cares? The Steelers. Oh, I will let you go on this, mate, because honestly, I'm really stuck on this division. When I say stuck, I genuinely feel there could be 2 wins between first and fourth.
Yeah, it is a tough division, the AFC North. For what it's worth, if I'll quickly run through my order and then I'll give some logic. I think the order is going to look very similar to what it did last year. So the Browns will finish bottom again. They'll be better than last year, but they're still going to finish bottom, although we'll come back to them in a second. Bengals will come third. I think the reason the Bengals will come third is their offense is amazing. Their defense is a problem, and that's without the fact they've got Defensive Player of the Year candidate Trey Hendrickson sat on the sideline because they can't sort his contract out. That's without sort of bringing it back to the other type of football, because I know you say we don't want to talk about it, but anybody who watched the Premier League in the 90s, Newcastle United were famous for scoring sort of 4 goals but losing 5-4. And that's what I think of with the Bengals. Sorry, Nathan, I know you're a Newcastle fan, but that's what I think of the Bengals this year. That offense is amazing. Joe Burrow is an incredible quarterback, and he's got 2 of the best wide receivers in Higgins and Chase.
Yeah.
But if your defense can't get off the field and you can't get on the field to operate, it doesn't really count for a lot. So, yeah, I think Bengals third, Steelers second, and I think the Ravens win the division again. The Steelers are a team I'm really interested to see this year because they've obviously taken the leap with Aaron Rodgers. So Rodgers and Mike Tomlin is, again, go back to my previous point about footballing IQ. There's some real big brain football IQ in that room.
Yeah.
Again, they've just paid TJ Watt. DK Metcalf's come across. Jonnu Smith's come in. Jalen Ramsey. they're going for it. The Steelers, they are going for it. They don't want to just be a win. They don't just want to have a winning record and then lose in the playoffs. They're really trying to go for it. So I'm interested to see what they can do. But man, I just can't look past the Ravens. You know, I think the Ravens are just legitimately just awesome. I mean, Super Bowl contenders for me all day long. I don't know what I can say that people don't already know. You know, unbelievable quarterback, unbelievable running back, great wide receivers, good tight ends, good line, great defense. The secondary is just phenomenal. Unbelievable head coach. What more can you say? The Ravens need to get over the hump in the playoffs. That's, you know, them and Buffalo both seem to have this kind of get to the playoffs and then they just can't. Yeah, and that's where Mahomes has really kind of has taken advantage and just bury both of them in the playoffs. It's only Burrow that's got the better of him so far. So it really is a question for me: is can Lamar Jackson lead the Ravens in the postseason? But if he can, I think the Ravens are genuine Super Bowl contenders this year.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I agree, and I think I maybe phrased it wrong when I said I don't see much. When I said people overhype this division, I just, I just maybe it's the Bengals really throw me off, like, because I don't even know if Shamar Stewart has actually signed yet with them.
Yeah, he has signed. He has signed the contract, but obviously he's missed so much training camp now, and his mentor or his supposed mentor is still stood on the sidelines in Trey Hendrickson.
So I think I'm with you. We'll talk a little bit about the Browns because they're just a mad enigma. But I've got the Browns in 4.
Yeah,
mainly because I think their GM bought to Deion Sanders saying you have to take my son. Like, that was a mental situation again. Bengals in 3 because even with your number 1 pick eventually signing the contract, you've made a mess of it, and that has a lasting effect. You know, that does have a lasting effect.
Of course it does. I agree.
Like you say, the Steelers are going all in. They're not hanging around. I just don't believe putting your hopes on. Well, I've seen it, and we're putting your hopes on the washed up veteran QB to just be the guy. It's not a league like that anymore. The league doesn't work that way anymore. Your QB now has to be a Lamar Jackson, like minimum. You look at the best QBs in the league at the minute. I mean, give or take a few places, and these are not in order, but Hurts, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar are sort of the ones that come to the mind, right? And then Pittsburgh, you go, we've got Aaron Rodgers.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
I don't get I get it's an all-in move because of who Aaron Rodgers is and who Mike Tomlin is. But if you was the GM and the head coach of we were GM and head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the past 2-3 years, would you really go, Harrison, I'm getting you Aaron Rodgers?
Not the version of Aaron Rodgers that we've seen, certainly not last year. I think the Steelers are possibly thinking similar, is if they can get a version of Rodgers that can be accurate and run the offense, that it's an upgrade on Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And I think that's possibly what they're saying, that's enough for them. And I think that's
fair.
I think that's probably where they're going with it. And then they've built out around, and then they've just tried to build an offense sort of around him. I just think, what is he, 41, 42, that Achilles injury, it'd be whether off the field, Aaron Rodgers is an enigma as per his TV show. On the field, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks that's ever played the game of football. So, you know, you want to see the talented players, you know, you don't want to see them go out on a low, as it were. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Just circling back to the Browns really quickly before we close the show out. So, I mean, first of all, the Browns have a quarterback battle that makes our quarterback battle look normal. They've got 4 quarterbacks in their quarterback battle, including a quarterback that we discarded last year because, again, no disrespect to Joe Flacco, he's been a great player in the NFL, but yeah, he's 40. You know, come on. Like, I like Joe Flacco, but come on. Secondly, again, listen to this for their schedule. The first 6 games, right? They start at home to Cincinnati, then they're away at Baltimore, then they've got Green Bay at home, then they're away at Detroit, then they're in London to play Minnesota, and then they go to Pittsburgh. So the first 6 weeks, they play Cincinnati, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. They could be 0-6, man. Like that's you've got 6 sides there that are all looking at playoff teams potentially. I know I've just said the Bengals won't make it, but they want to be a playoff team. That is the stinky start to the season, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also feel sorry for who's the young lad they drafted before.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, that's it. I always get him mixed up with Jackson Dart. No idea why.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because as soon as I don't even know who's QB1 there then.
Well, they haven't announced it yet. I think Pickett was in the box seat, but he's got an injury. So now it's Joe Flacco. Shedeur Sanders apparently hasn't been taking many reps. So, and then you've got Dylan Gabriel as well. They've been taking reps with the 3rd and 4th string players. It's just, I mean, come on, guys. Like, I don't want to. Yeah.
That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. If I'm a Browns fan, I'd be worried.
Yeah, and we've seen what effect inconsistent quarterbacks have. As in, like this week it's Richardson, this week it's not Richardson, this play it's Richardson, this half it's not Richardson. Like, and Paul Ryan Gully's like, who the fuck am I snapping the ball to?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, the Browns, I don't feel sorry for anybody, but if I was a Browns fan, I'd be a bit stressed about the start of this year. Let's be honest with you. No real quarterback and a horrendously tough start to your season. But they're in London this year, so, you know, we get to see them live if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to. He's a big asterisk.
If you want to. Yeah. Tickets still available. I don't know if they are, actually. They might be sold out by now. I've got no idea.
So we've been going nearly an hour. So thanks to everyone watching. Like I say, help us out because I've been looking through the analytics and 90% of people who watch the show aren't subscribed. If you're wondering what subscribing does, it does absolutely nothing but help boost my ego. No, it grows the community. It makes it more fun interacting with you guys. I promise we're not going to be one of these that starts hiding stuff behind a paywall. That we do this as a hobby and we do it for a laugh. So let's end out with a bit of good news and just a bit of fun. Good news: Bernie Raymond has got paid in I would say, a fair win-win deal. What is it? 4 years, 20 million?
25, wasn't it?
25 a year? Yeah, 25 a year.
It was 25, yeah.
Which is, congratulations on getting paid, but I also think it is friendly. DJ Giddens is looking good. I've seen a few clips of him. We're getting a running back core again. And everything. And also the last one, Braden Smith is on the right tracks, getting better, which is amazing. So, I mean, Ed, last question then, AFC Championship game, who's there?
Baltimore. I said that really quickly, Baltimore. Definitely Baltimore.
Mhm.
Kansas City.
I'm sure the world would love that. The media would love that. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm
Colts.
going to say. It's the Colts. The Colts. And it's going to be the Colts versus Kansas City.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I would much prefer your one to mine. I'm not going to lie to you.
And
I would much prefer your one.
I can see it. It's going to be like a flashback to 06. And we're just going to take it. We're going all the way. Of course, we're going all the way.
Football's back.
Yeah, football's back. I'm back. I've watched men in tights throw a ball on an empty grass field. We're winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Ed, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure we'll give Nathan a lot of crap for going eating instead of joining us. Like I say, thank you for everyone joining. And join us next week when I haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but join us next week after football will be officially back because we would have had the Hall of Fame game. See you all later.
Yes. Cheers. Bye.